Craig Haserot from Sojourn Cellars. Hi, Craig.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. So we're here at Pinot Days. Tell us a little bit about Sojourn Cellars.
Sure. Sojourn is a artisan winemaker headquartered in Sonoma, and we're focusing on Pinot Noir from both the Russian River and also from the Sonoma Coast region. And then we also make Cabernet, hillside Cabernets too.
Okay, great. And so we hear that you've won some interesting People's Choice Awards. You were telling us a little bit about some awards you won at the Pinot Shootout.
Yeah, correct. We did really well at the Pinot Shootout. Our 2005 San Giacomo vineyard, our vineyard designate from 2005, actually won the event. So
okay,
we did very,
great.
very well.
So you were telling us a little bit about they split it up between the tasting between men and women.
Correct.
This is sort of a thing that's going on now, right? People are recognizing the differences.
Well, they're recognizing the differences because of the ability, frankly, in the marketplace that women are becoming much larger purchasers of wine. And so there's sort of a new movement afoot to try to understand, do women have different palates? If they're going to be larger purchasers of wine, do they have a different palate, and potentially should winemakers cater to that style?
So they start crafting some of their bottlings for them.
It's very early on to start asking the question, but it's more of an interesting research project at this point. But what they did at the Pinot Shootout is they had 300 people that came, tasted the top 40 wines out of 277. And then they split the ballots up, men and women. We actually did very well on the men's side. We actually won the men's side, and we came in sixth on the women. Okay. So
you might need a female winemaker in there when you're doing the blends.
Potentially, yeah. We hadn't given it a lot of thought. Again, this is fairly early on in the whole cycle of trying to understand, women and women's preferences for wine versus men. I mean, historically, men have been, the purchaser of most of the wines in the household, and then frankly also most of the wines in the kind of artisan wine space where Sojourn sits, in that plus $30, $35 category.
But it's nice also nowadays in restaurants, what I like is that the sommelier doesn't automatically put the wine list in front of the man. Sometimes they're able to figure it out that, who's going to be ordering the wine, and quite often it's the woman now.
Well, they can't because that's just the nature of the marketplace today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but at Sojourn, again, we're an artisan winemaker in Sonoma. We make our wines by hand with an incredible amount of labor. We get down to berry sorting, actually in our crush process. We're fermenting in very small vessels to keep all of our lots individual so we have the ability to blend later. We're pressing by hand, and our style is really hands-off, especially in the Pinot Noir space. Allow the wines the ability to do what the wines are going to do. It's about being passionate, and we are, along with my winemaker, Eric Bradley, very passionate about what we do.
Okay, great. So let's taste some.
Great, thank you. So we're going to start with our Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir for 2005. This is actually a blend of our vineyard designate, the San Giacomo, and then another different property in the Sonoma Coast area, the Vella property. And along with a great cherry, along with a phenomenal aromatics, and a very deep black cherry component. It's also got a very nice acid structure too. The wine's very well balanced.
I was going to say it's got a really tight structure.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm really getting the sweetness of the fruit. I'm really getting the dark cherry, the almost like blackberry kind of notes.
Yeah, it is a bigger wine. We are making bolder, more expressive wines. Those are the kind of wines that Eric and I like to drink ourselves, and therefore those are the wines that we're crafting, for our customers. The Sonoma Coast wine retails for $36, and then we're going to pour our vineyard designate. This is our San Giacomo vineyard product. The San Giacomos are wonderful people. They farm about 1,150 acres in the county of Sonoma. that they own about 1,150 acres in Sonoma. Most of their properties are in the Carneros region. This particular property happens to be in the Sonoma Coast appellation. We happen to be in this particular block where we're purchasing fruit for them with Tandem, with James McPhail, with Rick Duna, and some other very kind of small artisan Pinot makers. This wine differs from the Sonoma Coast. First of all, it's a little bit bigger and a little bit more expressive. It also has an extra scoop of glycerin with respect to the mouthfeel. Eric, in the winemaking process, really focuses on tannin management. Tannin management, he feels, being one of the large keys to creating, a very luxurious mouthfeel early on in a wine, not having to necessarily force a customer to lay a wine down before it's ready. We're trying to make wines that are more approachable earlier, and we think we really succeeded with this individual vineyard designate product.
Well, right away on the nose, I really get that strong earthy scent. That real that mossy kind of.
Forest floor.
Really nice forest
floor. We would call
right.
it forest floor. Yeah, again, that mossy, earthy forest floor component. There's also a number of, I'm also picking up roasted elements, sort of like a roasted Morello cherry, that cherry that may come on your like panna cotta or panna cotta at an Italian restaurant.
The nearly black cherry. It's so
cherry.
dark. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I know what you mean about the mouthfeel. It's a little, it's very, I guess, full. It's got a like slightly dense mouthfeel to it.
It's a very full wine, but it's also it's really got that nice, just very luxurious, very mouth coating, very rich feel to it.
All right. Well, Craig, thank you so much.
Thank you.